A Jamaican man gets 3 years for knowingly infecting a UK woman with HIV. Hi again and welcome. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk. And when we return, we'll have the full and exclusive details of this to come. If it's the first time you're watching, please do the golden rule and like, share, subscribe to our channel. Click that notification bell and click on all so you're always updated with our latest report. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for the program. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk. This is the place where we discuss issues of national importance, global importance, or the situation that are buzzing in the news. In this world that we're living in, you have some people that they are very cold, they are very heartless, and they are very unpredictable. But you have to just keep an open mind and an open eye in order just to look around you and try to find out who people are before you actually get yourself involved with them, because some of the time these people they don't mean you no good, and when you actually find out that these individuals are actually who they are, then maybe it is too late. I'm about to provide you with a report that I saw recently in a media outlet in which a Jamaican man knowingly infected a woman with HIV, and he has been jailed in the UK for this offense. Now, this leaves me to wonder whether or not this is actually his first and only victim based on the fact that he did this knowingly to this female. So I'm about now to provide you with the report that we have here right in front of us right now. So a Jamaican man who knowingly infected a woman with HIV has been jailed in the UK. His name is Jermaine Scott, and he appeared at a Chester Crown Court on Tuesday, where he was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Even though many people, based on what I've read, believe that he should have gotten a more lengthier prison sentence based on the fact of what he did. So, the 39-year-old had previously pleaded guilty to grievous bodily harm. So, the Cheshire Constabulary said that Scott was diagnosed with HIV back in 2005 and had been prescribed medication to minimize the risk of transmission to other people. However, this was not to be based on the fact that he actually purposely did what he did to this female. So he and the victim had previously been in a relationship and rekindled their relationship back in summer of 2009. So these two were actually dating before 2009, and somehow the relationship broke off and they actually rekindled the relationship back in 2009. So might I remind you that Scott was diagnosed with HIV back in 2005. So maybe between 2006, 7, 8, thereabout, he had a relationship with this female. So he would have been known and diagnosed with HIV at this point in time. However, he did not make this aware to the female that he was actually having the relationship with. So when the relationship started, Scott was not taking his tablets regularly, meaning that there was a higher risk of transmission. He also failed to inform the victim of his diagnosis and went on to have unprotected intercourse with the woman, the police have stated. The victim became suspicious of his behavior, and in October 2009, the pair attended a sexual health clinic. While at the clinic, Scott provided a false name and false medical details to the healthcare worker. This, according to the police. So, this was in order to keep his 2005 HIV diagnosis a secret from the female that he was having a relationship with. The victim became suspicious, as I said before, back in 2009 about the whole entire situation, and he was actually infected back in 2005 and made diagnosis of this and become aware of the whole entire situation, what was happening to his body. However, he failed to inform the female that he rekindled his relationship back in 2009. So the victim subsequently tested positive for HIV, and this would have been the female that he was having the relationship with. And the pair ended their relationship following the split. Scott left the area and actually went somewhere else in order to reside. The incident was reported to the police back in October 2009, and an investigation was launched to locate Scott. Following a public appeal, he was located and arrested in February 2011. So, this was when the female now decided that this individual must have known that he was actually infected or had tested positive previously before she was actually infected. So, an appeal was made and he was actually arrested in February 2011. So, according to the police, Scott refused to answer any question put to him by officers, and despite a detailed investigation, officers were unable to gather sufficient evidence to charge him in relation to the incident, and the case was closed. He was subsequently deported from the UK to Jamaica in November 2011 after it was found that he was living in the UK illegally for some time. So maybe he came up on a visa and overstayed his time and did not return home to Jamaica. So that was why he was actually deported, or maybe one of the reasons why he was deported from the UK. So, shortly after his deportation, the victim asked the case to be reopened. The detective subsequently sought help from a number of medical experts who revealed that it was highly likely that the victim had been infected with the HIV in 3 months before her diagnosis while she was in a relationship with Scott. So, this was where the case took a dramatic twist, as medical experts stated that he must have known 3 months before the relationship rekindled with this female. The police have stated that during their investigation, and this would have been a massive investigation that took place here, they have also identified a number of genetic links between the strain of the HIV that the victim had been diagnosed with and also that of the offender. In 2019, the additional evidence was presented to the CPS, who agreed to charge Scott with grievous bodily harm under Section 20 in February 2020. An extradition warrant was issued and he was returned to the UK in November 2022 to be charged in connection with the incident. Following the sentencing, Detective Sergeant Emma Myers, who led the investigation, also said that it has taken more than 12 years to reach this point, and having supported the victim throughout the investigation, I've seen firsthand the pain and suffering that she has endured both physically and psychologically. She will now have to live the rest of her life forever marred by the actions of Scott. There is no cure and she will now have to take medication for the rest of her life. Scott's actions have affected her relationship with others and she no longer trusts men. While no sentence will ever be enough, I hope that the fact that Scott is behind bars and has been held accountable for his action will provide her with some level of closure. But I know that this will gonna be a difficult time for her going through this whole entire thing of being tested positive for HIV and knowing that this individual would have been someone that she might have cared for and would have helped during numerous situations and circumstances, and to know that that individual would have turned against her in such a way to the point where she is left with something that will forever mar her life for the rest of her life. And this individual knowingly did it to her, considering the fact that he had medical records to prove that he actually tested positive sometime before he actually rekindled the relationship with this female. I don't know what this individual was actually thinking, or whether or not he actually purposely did this to the female just in order for some revenge, because he might have got it from somewhere as well. So I believe that he might have just used this as a revenge strategy in order to get this female back to where he wanted her to be. But what happened here is a very sad and unfortunate situation, and it just goes to show you that out there in the world, you can't trust people based on their physical appearance, because you have people out there in this world, they are very cold, they are very heartless, and they just don't value life or value their own life and yours as well. So this is where do I believe I'm going to leave this story. Very sad and unfortunate situation, and I hope that this female, she has not been named as well during the investigation, but I hope that she does find the strength and courage to just cope and continue to just live her life in the best possible way. This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. Thanks for watching.